If you thought Wall Street was in for a slow week ahead of the holiday, think again. In today's cover story, going on tour, President Obama takes his immigration plan to the people. And drinks delivered to your door, the startup bar business that's taking on stiff competition. Plus, champagne wishes and caviar dreams come true at the LA Auto Show. First Business starts now.
You're watching First Business. Financial news, analysis, and today's investment ideas.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Angela Miles. It's Monday, November 24th. In our first look, the holiday hustle. Before heading home for Thanksgiving, traders prepare for a critical week with news about the U.S. economy, as well as decisions from the European Union and OPEC. Central bank bounce. The Dow and S&P 500 closed at record levels Friday on the heels of a rate cut in China and the ECB tweeting about its latest asset buying program. In the U.S., stocks are on a 5-week winning streak. Trader Dan Howe, PTI Securities, joins us now to get the ball rolling on this Monday morning. Hello, Dan.
Good morning.
Clearly, we had some central bank action last week that led the market higher. What will your trade look like today?
Well, I mean, basically what they did is they put a floor underneath us. So I think the whole market will continue to be strong. We, however, prefer to do the materials sector. I mean, new money that we're putting in the market, we're putting into materials, and primarily because I think that revenue has been a tough thing to come by most companies, and I think it will continue to be a hard thing to come by. So I'm looking for the one sector that I think to continue to have reduced costs. And the material sector is very heavily weighted on chemical companies, and they are heavily dependent upon the price of North American energy, which is at a very low level. So that's why we're continuing to put new money into the material sector, because we think that they'll have cost decreases going forward.
It's a holiday week. That means less trading happening. What's your plan?
Well, there's quite a bit going on. I mean, certainly Tuesday and Wednesday are very busy days on the calendar. So Tuesday is going to be the big day. I think GDP is going to be the one number next week that can really push the market around quite a bit. We're looking at a good number. So, I mean, I think any disappointment here it could be a big deal.
We have much to look forward to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Time now to say good morning to Chuck Coppola, who has the fallout from the president's aggressive move on immigration. Hello, Chuck.
Angie, in our cover story, tomorrow, President Obama travels to Chicago, where he'll continue his efforts to win public support for his executive orders preventing roughly 5 million undocumented workers in the U.S. from deportation. President Obama's Immigration Nation tour continues this week, telling a crowd Friday at a Las Vegas high school that his executive orders reducing deportation threats to millions does not short-circuit democracy nor prevent Congress from re-engaging efforts toward comprehensive immigration reform.
The fact that a year and a half has gone by means that time has been wasted. And during that time, families have been separated. And during that time, businesses have been harmed. And we can't afford it anymore.
It's a step definitely in the right direction. I think it's going to put pressure on the Republicans now that they will have to come up with a comprehensive immigration reform bill.
The president's unilateral action does away with immediate threats of deportation for parents here 5 years or more whose children are citizens or permanent residents. It also does the same for children here 5 years or more. Parents must register, pass a criminal background check, and pay taxes.
I think it's going to stick. Executive orders have a long history in the United States. Republican presidents use them, Democratic presidents use them. And he's being adventurous in this executive order, but no one can challenge it. Only Congress can revoke it by specific action.
Members of Illinois' business community who support immigration reform say relaxing deportation rules and allowing more to apply for work permits will help the economy.
I think we will find some people that perhaps are qualified to do much more than they're currently doing will go after jobs that would be more useful of the talents that they have, so we'll be able to take advantage of that as well. So I think business will benefit.
House Speaker John Boehner vowed on Friday that the House will act, he says, on immigration to thwart the president's unilateral action. President Obama warned against another threatened government shutdown, and Mexico's President Nieto says Mr. Obama's actions would allow families to stay together.
House Speaker John Boehner is leading the charge in suing the president over Obamacare. The lawsuit accuses the Obama administration of breaking the law by allowing companies of 50 employees or more to postpone offering health coverage to full-time workers and for giving $175 billion to insurance companies without the consent of Congress. The bigger threat to Obamacare rests on the shoulders of the Supreme Court justices. They will hear a case that could invalidate tax credits for millions of Americans signed up for affordable health care.
Penalties for the uninsured are about to jump. The Obamacare fees will rise from 1% last year to 2% in 2015. And Americans without insurance will pay 2% of their income, or $325, whichever is larger. Fees will be taken out when you file your federal income tax return. In 2016, the fees will be 2.5% of your income. After that, it's tied to inflation.
Gigantic jumps in generic drug prices had the attention of lawmakers. In less than a year, popular asthma meds jumped from $11 to $434. A generic antibiotic has gone from $20 to $1,800. Blood pressure, cholesterol, and heart attack prevention drugs have also skyrocketed. Congressman Elijah Cummings, along with Senator Bernie Sanders, are investigating. Sanders is introducing a bill requiring generic drug companies to pay a rebate to Medicaid on overly expensive drugs.
The Department of Veterans Affairs, stung by a wave of criticism over long wait times for treatment at VA facilities found to have contributed to a number of veterans' deaths, the VA says it is getting better. It has computerized its claim systems, and according to Allison Hickey, who is Undersecretary of Benefits for the VA, cut its backlog of national disability claims by more than 60%. In this past year, the VA says veterans waited an average of 119 fewer days for a decision on their claims than in 2013.
Now it's Japanese regulators cracking down on Takata. The Asian nation's transportation minister is demanding the car parts supplier conduct a full investigation into its faulty airbags. It's also working with automakers to decide whether a recall expansion is necessary. 2.3 million cars have been recalled in Japan. 14 million are involved in the recall worldwide. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration already has asked U.S. car makers to recall vehicles with Takata airbags.
Ford's new vehicles are getting a lot lighter. Friday, the automaker said its new F-150 pickup will get up to 26 miles per gallon on the highway. That's as the automaker swaps out steel for lighter-bodied aluminum. The truck could be a risk, though, for Ford, as gas prices plummet and consumers may focus less on fuel efficiency. But Joe Weisenfelder of Cars.com thinks Ford's move could be the beginning of a trend.
It also suggests that, maybe other pickup manufacturers will be forced to make similar moves, because nothing, in my experience, nothing causes automakers to improve their efficiency more than competing vehicles that have already done so.
The new Ford F-150 models roll out next month. Shares of Ford dropped 3 cents on Friday to close above $15.
Now, on to more action from the floor of the LA Auto Show. Joining us is Jack Nerad of Kelley Blue Book. Good to talk to you. And what trends are you seeing in LA?
Well, one of the trends is luxury, and behind me is the Mercedes Maybach S600, and that kind of epitomizes that trend. And Mercedes has identified a place where there really are no vehicles, and that's in the $150,000 to $200,000 range, and this is where this vehicle will play.
Are there any exciting cars under $150,000?
Well, there's a couple of them here that I think are very, very exciting and much less expensive than $200,000. The first is the Scion IM Concept, and it's a terrific looking vehicle and kind of a reboot of the whole Scion brand, to tell you the truth. I mean, they kind of went into doldrums for a while, but as you can see, this is a really good looking vehicle with a lot of racing touches to it. I mean, that expressive thing is what younger buyers are looking for, and we think this is going to get the Scion brand back on track. Another vehicle we like a whole lot, and we think is going to be very, very popular, is the Honda HR-V. The CR-V, of course, is the most popular compact SUV in the land, and this is a smaller version of that based on the Honda Fit, just introduced here at the Los Angeles Auto Show, and we think it's going to take the market by storm. The market is moving toward these smaller SUVs.
Thank you, Jack, for that quick trip to the show.
Great to talk to you.
The world of high-priced art auctioning is going through a shakeup. Sotheby's is searching for a new CEO. After 14 years, William Ruprecht is stepping down from the auction house. He'll stay on as chairman, president, and CEO, though, until the board of directors finds his replacement. The company called it a mutual agreement. However, the Pardon comes after a proxy battle with hedge fund manager Dan Loeb. Loeb scored 3 seats on Sotheby's board. Investors sent the stock up 6% Friday.
A state-by-state check of the labor market shows a downward trend in unemployment. Unemployment rates fell in 34 states last month. Georgia had the highest rate at 7.7%. The lowest rate is still in North Dakota at 2.8%. California, Texas, and Florida are the states that hired workers at the fastest clip.
CEOs selling companies due to mergers are landing softly with multi-million-dollar golden parachutes. Execs selling their shares are set to rake in a total of $430 million. That's according to a study by pay-tracking firm Equilar. The list of top corporate benefactors includes Allergan's David Pyatt, $100 million. Time Warner Cable's Robert Marcus, $80 million. Covidian's Jose Almeida, $49 million. And Sigma Aldrich's Rakesh Sachdev, $34 million. But Forest Laboratories' Brenton Saunders receives nothing. The payout required that he sell his company and lose his job.
Wall Street bankers are loving making millions off of Alibaba. The stock set a record high Friday of $113 before closing at $110 after its massive bond sale in the U.S. The $8 billion Baba bond sale is one of the largest of the year. The sale was coordinated by several big banks, including Citigroup, Deutsche Bank, and J.P. Morgan Chase. Bloomberg reports the e-commerce Chinese company took in 7 times more in bond orders than it was seeking from investors.
GoDaddy is going ahead with a $4.5 billion IPO. Website hosting company first filed to go public in June. So far, the future looks bright. Revenue per user of GoDaddy rose in its first 9 months from $102 to $112. GoDaddy and other internet domain registration providers are under pressure, though, after Google began testing its own service this past June.
Taking a look at the earnings calendar for today, it's Genesco and Big Lots. Still to come, are American shoppers out of control? The new startup that lets booze cruise to your front door. And why you could have to compete with millions to get to Thanksgiving dinner on time this year. But first, the University of Phoenix is helping veterans and service personnel improve their transition back into civilian life. That's in today's In the Know message.
Be prepared for some extra holiday hustle and bustle this year. Americans are expected to hit the road in full force this Thursday for the biggest Thanksgiving travel day since 2007. AAA says low gas prices and an improving economy have more Americans hitting the road. 46 million people are expected to travel around 50 miles from home this year.
Some call it retail therapy. Others say it's impulse purchasing. Either way, retailers have fingers crossed Americans are ready to spend over the big Thanksgiving shopping weekend. Matt Scholes of creditcards.com is Skyping with us this morning. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
What's your prediction on spending?
If a recent survey is any indication, I think it looks like a good season because we found that 3/4 of Americans say that they have impulse bought before. And we know that during the holidays, people are in stores, and this is certainly the time when it might be good to impulse buy.
Who's more likely to make a snap decision on spending, a woman or a man?
Women and men are fairly equal in terms of whether they would actually make an impulse purchase, but women are more likely to regret that purchase.
And you also found something out that was really interesting about men. If they've had a drink or two, they tend to spend.
Yeah, what we found is that men are 3 times more likely to impulse buy when they're intoxicated than women are. And we also saw that men, when it comes to impulse buying, are the bigger spenders because they're far more likely to have made an impulse purchase of $1,000 or more. So that's obviously a lot of money.
What's the difference between, say, the older generation and millennials?
Well, this was surprising to us. We found that millennials are far more likely to have made an impulse purchase than seniors. And obviously, seniors have had a lot more time to make that impulse purchase. So we thought that was an interesting number, too.
Matt, good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Walmart employee food drive is back, and it's stirring up more controversy than ever. A Walmart worker in Oklahoma who is behind the food donation campaign says it's a way for employees to help each other. But a group calling for better working conditions at Walmart says it's a commentary on low wages paid by Walmart. The average starting pay for a Walmart associate is just about $15,000 per year. The food drive is managed by employees and not the company.
Coming up, a company with an Apple connection gets an endorsement from a big-time investor, and the buzz on the home booze delivery business after the break. Booze you can choose now comes on an app. Lindsay Andrews and Laura Christel are on set with a fun prop this morning. They are the creators of the Mini Bar. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning.
What gave you this idea, and exactly what is Mini Bar?
So Mini Bar is on-demand alcohol delivered to your door in under an hour. We are available as an app to download, or you can visit our website, minibardelivery.com, so that you can get everything you want for a party or to stock your bar delivered to your doorstep.
Did you find out there was a need for this?
We did. You know, consumers today are really busy with their lives, and we wanted to find a way to save them time to do the things they love. Plus, who doesn't want to press a button and get wine and spirits delivered in under an hour?
Are you the first with the Mini Bar?
We are the first in New York where we launched, and now we've rolled out to Chicago and San Francisco, and we're really excited to be here.
How was it getting funding for this project? Because I see the Winklevoss twins were actually a part of your funding group of $1.8 million recently.
Yes, we have a couple great VCs involved. The Winklevoss Capital.
I always want to call them Winklevi. This is easier to say.
Yes, they've been great partners and really helpful, as well as we have Female Founders Fund and Great Oaks Venture Capital. So they've all been really supportive and helpful.
Are other people excited about this as well?
I think it's an industry that's really exciting. It's a $93 billion industry in the U.S., and less than 2% of sales is done online. So there's huge opportunity as consumers look to move online in alcohol.
What challenges are you facing out there? I noticed one person on your staff is from Uber. Will that be an issue?
No, he's amazing. Jason helps lead expansion, came from Uber, so has an amazing playbook on how to do that. And we've been thrilled with our team. So that's definitely our biggest challenge now, is just launching in our new markets and getting the word out.
Well, I hope you have great success, and thanks for coming on the show. I don't know how I ended up with this segment because I'm the non-drinker in the crowd compared to my co-anchors. No, they're great guys, really. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Just ahead, what the options market is communicating about a company that has a nice slice of business from Apple. Chart Talk is next. Kavanaugh, CMZ Trading, joins us for a closer look at Nuance Communications. Hi, Matt.
Good morning.
Nuance has a very strong connection to Apple. Is that likely to drive this stock higher?
Well, it's something that people are definitely going to be watching. Nuance is the largest third-party keyboard provider for Apple. They do a lot of cool stuff, voice recognition software, so it's definitely something people are going to be queuing in on. But this is a stock that's seen a lot of heavy call buying. It's off its highs, so one I'm definitely going to be watching.
Earnings are coming up this week. What is the options market predicting about a move?
Well, it looks like they're predicting a little bit of a move. You know, this stock is only around $15, but earlier this month we saw a lot of call buyers. $15, $16, $17 call buyers in DEES. Way more than we're used to seeing. So definitely a little bit of a bullish slant, and I think personally it's a pretty good bet.
Now, Carl Icahn also has a stake in this company. Does that worry you, or does it make you feel better about the stock?
You know, we talked about Carl Icahn stocks a lot. He's one of the greatest living investors there are. He owns about 20% of this company, and he's into the stock at around $18, so higher. If Carl thinks that this company is a value at $18, and we've got a shot to buy it here in the low 15s, or at least buy some options, I'm going to ride with Carl. I think he knows what he's doing, and this company's got a chance to pop.
What could cause the stock to stumble?
Well, if people don't like what they see in the earnings, they think that they're having a little trouble going to more of a revenue, pay-based revenue model. But, you know, they're in a really good position. The analysts like it. Deutsche Bank just upgraded the stock with a $25 price target. They're really competitively placed, fairly priced, and I think that the stock's got more room to run on the upside than the downside.
Wall Street's definitely pumped up on it. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for today. Coming up tomorrow, small business owners brace for what they hope will be a record-breaking weekend. But is Small Business Saturday more likely to fizzle or sizzle? From all of us at First Business, have a great Monday.